Everybody, Joshua DeAndre here from Vision Tech, and this is the behind the scenes look at the animation, the stick figure animation of Stickfigure Pen. And I had this idea. We had 4 weeks to create this project, and I had this idea really briefly, and some inspiration took from other past animations like animation versus animator, and like kind of I had a paper and pen. And I just drew out all these different ideas for like a type of animation where a stick figure gets like this magical pen and starts creating havoc with it or starts drawing random things and makes his own creation, and it kind of goes against him, just like the SpongeBob episode where he gets a under the sea, gets his pen and he draws himself, and then he in the thing takes the pen and takes it away. So I kind of drew inspiration from that, but like all the scenes that I had planned out, I had drew on this paper, or things that I wanted to do or tried to do. One of them didn't make it in now just due to time, but I'm just gonna give a in-depth look of all it takes just to make the short little animation. This is all the keyframes. I have done around 3 animations now, 2 to 3, and this one was the most unorganized with all the keyframing and having to draw almost every element. And the goal that I try to set for myself, and that it's a little tip to people that want to try animation with drawing tablets or even with stick figures or anything, is you want to use object drawing, and that's the tool that is over here for the pens. And what it more or less does is that you're able to, everything that you draw, if you enable this, is going to become a shape that you can control, rotate, or anything. Because your goal is good, which what I try to make a goal for myself is that I would try it as much as I can to just use it by rotating the person, and it was a lot smoother and it looked a lot better. And if I really have to draw a new pose for one of the stick figures, then I have to, and it's just you have to kind of use real life aspects to it, because you have to think about how would this character work if there is actual weight wherever this world is, or how would a person actually react, or how would they jump, how would they take a step. So I had to take that into a lot of consideration, and a lot of it is just being patient. There's a lot of times where I got really impatient with this project and I wanted to just rush it, and it just did not look good. So you have to stay patient, stay organized. So if we look here, um, disable the VCam so it doesn't just stay there. All these keyframes here, especially the beginning, is just a motion tween and just some arms or heads moving, and then the rest of it is trying just to maybe replacing an object and then just redrawing it so you can control the objects and move it around. It's a lot easier than just redrawing it over and over, and then if I have to, then I just draw a new pose. So just some things that I'm giving some tips out here. This isn't a full tutorial, and one of the things that I sort of learned from this, and I wasn't supposed to learn too much from this project, trying to use your best for it, is that you have to, whatever you create, whether it's on pen and paper, you have to imagine it in real time. So for like this little thing that he does here, this was just a bunch of redrawing of frames. Like I would save the frame over and just add on to it and have to move it. And I'm very impressed with scenes like these, because this is like something completely random. We get to make it look lifelike. Everything has a beginning to an end of a process, and just little things like that. And I've always said, even though people don't notice those little details, if you know you find those details and those details worked out great, it could really help you out. Now, scenes that took a very long time is where the patience and real life human aspect comes here. Just for this stick figure to do a little jump and roll took me a whole hour and a half almost just to get it right, because I could get it done in like 30 minutes, but it looked really choppy and I had to fill in gaps and I had to try to fix it, and just trying to get this thing to roll. Because when I also do these stick figure animations, what you want to do is you want to have the body and the head separate, because you don't want to have to keep adding on a new head every time, or having to redraw a head and it loses its shape or size or dimension. So that was another thing you had to take in consideration. So if this is the right one, see? So I'd have to literally draw it with just the body. And it looks not too bad, honestly. I was very impressed with myself when I did this late at night, because it's actually a not bad little roll, and then with the head now. So that was one of the hardest parts of doing this whole thing, was that. In my last part that was very difficult to get correctly was actually the box scene. The box scene, because the pen is being used again, so you have to time it almost right, but with speed it looks with speed it looks good, and just timing and poses of characters just have to be in sync, and you have to play it by eye and hope that in real time it does work out. And then one of my favorite scenes actually, and I'm glad it came out well, is this one here where he draws the bigger figure and he comes down and kind of crushes the box using the eraser tool, and he draws away. So that's pretty much all the little niches and details that I want to go over and that I'm actually kind of proud of in erasing things. And then of course VCam, because you always want to have a camera. You don't want to have your whole project, to like look like something like this. You want to have a camera that has movement or shakes or anything or zooms. And now for the iMovie portion, I just use iMovie to do basic cuts and little transitions. And oh yeah, and sound effects. All these sound effects. For any sound effects for anything, sound effects are a little bit difficult for this because I wanted to make it more cartoony. I didn't want to make it too real because they are just like a little creation. They're not like in real life completely. I know it's kind of goes against what I was saying with like movements, but just with sound effects, you need to find what looks good to. You have to see it, and you have to kind of like imagine what would sound good with it. And a good thing is just to close your eyes and to listen to it. And if it sounds goofy, then fix it. So that's pretty much my overview of this project. It was a hassle. It was very difficult. It was something different. I've never tried to draw on a tablet before for animating, but I'm very glad I did it. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little behind the scenes footage. And if you've somehow stumbled upon this video and not the actual movie, go check out the movie for itself. I'll leave an annotation. Thanks.